Blackie and Mickey. How do you manage to keep your voice at such a perfect tone? I mean...
Well, I think that's objective now, isn't it?
No, it isn't. I mean, you get better and better.
Well, I had a serious problem in '83. And before we did our first album, I ruptured the whole left side of my voice. And I mean, it was like you have a flat tire going down the road at 200 kilometers an hour. That's what happened to me. And the whole left side was gone. And so there was a doctor in Los Angeles, and he was a throat specialist. And this guy was impressive because when you walked into his office, most doctors have their little certificates on the wall of what school they went to and things like that. This guy's office, floor to ceiling, all the way around on every wall, gold and platinum records. Frank Sinatra, Stevie Nicks, Rod Stewart. I mean, everybody was on that wall. And so he went in and he examined me, and he says, okay, I'm going to tell you the truth. He says, you got a serious problem here. You may never sing again. But if you do exactly what I tell you to do, I'll get you through this. He says, the first thing that's going to happen is you're not going to speak for 6 weeks. The phone rings at your house, let it ring. You go to a restaurant, you take a pen and a paper, and you write it. So this went on for 6 weeks. The temptation when that happens is to test it from time to time to see if it's there. I don't know if any of you have ever gone 6 hours without talking before, especially if you need to answer a question from someone. Go 6 weeks. It's like being in this deaf, dumb, and blind hell. You can't really communicate with anybody. And the whole time that's happening, your brain is going, you're never going to sing again. You're never going to sing again. So at the end of the 6 weeks, he got me through it. He says, all right, let me ask you this. He says, do you ever exercise before you sing? And I said, no. He says, well, you watch the Olympics? He says, you see those sprinters out there? You see them stretching before they run? And I said, yeah. He says, what do you think they're doing? Stretching? And I said, okay. He says, warm up, get ready before you go out. He says, if you do that, you'll get through this. And so I found that over a period of time, the stretching not only helped me from becoming hurt again, it actually strengthened me in ways that I'd never known before. So it ended up being a blessing in disguise. That's a long story to tell you what really happened.
Hi Blackie, this is Fernando from Metal Eyewitness from Argentina. W.A.S.P was my main metal band when I was a young boy. My first important metal was into metal band. And later when the Crimson Idol came out, for me it's still one of the best pieces of music for metal. So right now, would you tell the story of Jonathan in a different way? Have you something changed about your views of the musical industry right now?
Well, the biggest change is that there isn't much of a musical industry anymore. You know, I mean, that all went away with computers. But the story of the Crimson Idol is basically a simple story. It's about a kid looking for love, and he can't find it. And so, at the end of the day, like I said, it really is a simple story. It's not complicated at all. What we call window dressing, or the smaller things that are built around it, may seem to make it more complicated than it is, but it really isn't. And I think that that's one of the reasons people gravitate to that record. I don't think it's complicated at all.